The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. This is a lovely story about the two boys, Aram and Murad, who had a passion of riding a horse and somehow they managed to get one. Now let's see what happened in the story. One day, a 9-year-old Aram was asleep. He was into his dream world. Suddenly, his cousin Murad showed up on the window of his room very early in the morning and called him. It was dawn and there was light enough outside to make him see outside what made him believe he wasn't dreaming. Murad was sitting on a white horse. Aram rubbed his eyes and stuck out his head out of the window. Murad assured him it was not a dream, but it was very hard to believe what he saw. He saw that Murad was sitting on a lovely white horse. Now, Aram's family was very poor and they had no money, so it was difficult for him to believe in what he saw outside his house. And they belonged to a Garogalian family that was strictly and funnily in poverty. They didn't know how they managed to get food for themselves every day. Although his tribe was poor, they were known for their honesty for 11 centuries. They were honest, proud, and always believed in right and wrong. No one from their family would ever steal anything or would take advantage of anyone in the world. Aaron was so excited on seeing a horse that was so pleasant and beautiful. He could smell it and hear it breathing and still couldn't believe that Murad or anyone in the family could afford a horse. He was thinking if Murad had stolen the horse, but he didn't believe it, as he thought no one in his family could be a thief. He stared at his cousin and then at the horse. There was religious motionlessness and wittiness in both Murad and the horse, as one charmed him and the other scared him. Now, Aram asked Murad if he had stolen the horse. Replied, if he wants a ride, he must jump out of the window. He didn't answer for that question. Aram was convinced that the horse was stolen by Murad. He came to visit him to ask him to ride it with him. Aram tried to convince himself that it was not the same as stealing money, as they both were so crazy about riding a horse. He thought that it would not be called stealing until they decide to sell it, which they would never do. Aram said he will wear some clothes and come out. He jumped down to his yard from his room's window and sat on the horse behind his cousin. Now, Aram lived at the edge of the town of Walnut Avenue. There were orchards, vineyards, irrigation ditches, and country roads behind his house. They were on Olive Avenue within 3 minutes, and the horse started to proceed. The air felt new and lovely to breathe. Aram felt wonderful sitting on the horse, which was running. Murad started singing loudly, who was considered one of the craziest members of the family. Now, Adam says that there was one more person in the family who was considered craziest, and that was Uncle Khusrov. And Murad was considered one of that natural descendant of that race. Now, Uncle Khusrov was the one with who was a huge man with black hair and the largest mustache in the valley. He had an energetic temper and was impatient, which was irritating. He used to make Anyone stop talking by roaring and say, "It is not harm. Pay no attention to it." Now, Uncle Khusrav was always rigid, no matter what happened to be talking about in front of him. Once his own son Araf came running to him when he was getting his mustache trimmed at the barber's shop. He told the house was on fire, to which he roared and said the same dialogue. Barber was amused and tried to talk to him, but it, as usual, Khusrav roared again and did not pay attention to it. Now, Murad was considered to be a natural descendant of this man, but he was not his son. His father was Zorab, who was a practical person. A child could look like his father, but doesn't mean he gets his nature and attitude just the same. There are different kinds of people in their tribe, moody and without any settled work or home. They were still riding the horse, and Murad was still singing loudly. They were still in the countryside, where, according to their neighbors, they belonged to. Now, Murad asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked if he could ride the horse alone. He said it is up to the horse if he wants to ride you along, and asked him to get Murad down again. Aram tried to convince him that the horse would let him ride, to which Murad said that we shall see, and told Aram that he had a way with the horse. Aram told him that he had it too. Murad told him to get down and said it is for his own safety. Let us hope so. Aram got down while telling him that he will ride the horse alone. Now Murad kicked his heels in the horse and shouted, "Run!" to him. The horse stood on its hind legs, breathed out, and ran into a speed. Murad raced the horse across the fields of dry grass and irrigation ditches. When they arrived 5 minutes later, they both were wet. Now the sun was almost up, and Aram told him that it was his turn to ride. Murad got off, and Aram sat on the horse. He was fearful, and the horse did not move. Murad tried to guide him by saying that he should try to kick into his muscles, and told him that he should hurry because they need to take him back before everyone woke up. Aram kicked into the muscles of the horse, to which the horse again raced and breathed out. The horse began to run, and Aram didn't know what to do next. The horse started going towards the road that leads to the vineyard of Dikren Halabian. It began to move over vines, and Aram fell down. The horse continued to run, and Murad came running down the road towards him. Murad told him that he is not worried about Aram, but they need to find the horse. They both went different ways to find him. He instructed Aram to be kind if he saw him anywhere. Now Aram looked for the horse down the road, and Murad went towards the irrigation ditches. He came back after 30 minutes with the horse. He told him to jump over, as the whole world was awake by then. Aram asked what would they do, to which Murad told him about two options: either take him back or hide him until tomorrow. Murad was not worried, and Aram knew that Murad would hide him somewhere and not take him back for a while. Aram asked him where Murad would hide him. Murad told him about a place he knew which would be perfect as a hidden spot. Aram eagerly asked him when he stole the horse. It appeared to him that Murad had been taking the horse for morning rides for quite some time. As as there was a bonding between Murad and horse, he could ride easily horse, and he showed up this morning to ask Aram to ride along because he knew that Aram was longing to ride one. Murad shuts him down by asking a counter question. About who talks about stealing a horse. Aram tried to change the question by asking him since how long was he riding the horse every morning. Murad told him that that morning was the first morning. Aram was not convinced and asked him if he was telling the truth. Murad said if anyone asked Aram, he should say that it was true. Further added that he didn't want them to be liars, but they had to they had to say only this. Aram agreed, and Murad walked the horse quietly towards the barn of a deserted vineyard. It belonged to a farmer named Fetvezian. The barn had some oats and alfalfa. They started towards home. Murad told Aram that it was not easy to get the horse to behave nicely as it wanted to run wild at first. He told him again that he had a way with the horse and he could get them to do whatever he wants to. Horses understood him. Aram amusingly asked him how he controlled the horse, to which Murad said he has an understanding with the horse. Aram asked him what sort of understanding did he have with him, to which Murad told him a simple and honest one. Aram confessed he would also like to know how to have an understanding with the horse. Murad assured Aram by saying that he is still a small boy. He will learn when he will be 13. Aram went home and ate breakfast. That day, his uncle Khusrav visited his house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor and was remembering the old country when a person came to visit him. He was John Byro, a farmer who learned to speak Armenian because of loneliness. His mother bought Byro some coffee and tobacco. He sipped and smoked and told them about his missing white horse, to who was stolen last month. That means it was almost 1 month the horse has been stolen or lost, and it was with Murad for 1 month, and he is not able to find it. Khusrav wrote again that it's not harm and shouted that why he was crying over a lost horse when they had lost their homeland. Now John replied to Khusrav that he would not bother as he lives in a city, but his country was of no good without his horse. Khusrav shouted that he must not pay any attention to it. John told that he walked down 10 miles to come here. Khusrav shouted that he has legs, to which John said his left leg hurt. Khusrav again tried to shut him down by saying that he should not pay any attention to it. John shared that the horse cost him $60. Khusrav said he would spit on the money, after which John got up and went away, slamming the door. Aram's mother told him that John had a gentle heart, and as he was homesick, he was such a large man. Aram went to Murad. He was sitting under a peach tree talking to a robin bird. He was repairing the wing that was hurt. Aram told him about John Byro and how he visited their house and he wanted his horse. Aram asked him not to return the horse until he learns to ride it. Murad told Aram that it will take almost a whole year to learn to ride a horse. Aram said they could keep him for a year then. Murad stood up on his feet and shouted at him about encouraging him to be a thief in spite of being a member of such an honest family of that tribe. He declared that the horse should go to the true owner. Aram asked when would they have to return the horse, to which Murad said in 6 months. He threw the bird into the air. It almost fell twice but flew at last. For the next 2 weeks, they both would make the horse out of the barn and ride it. But every morning, the horse would throw Aram and run away whenever he tried to ride it. He still hoped he would learn to ride it the way his cousin did. Once on the way to the deserted vineyard to hide the horse again, they met John Byro, who was on his way to town. Murad insisted on talking to him as he had a way with farmers. He was very friendly. Murad wished him good morning and Byro saw the horse carefully. Byro wished them back and asked the name of the horse. Murad replied, My heart, in Armenian language. Byro complimented that it was a lovely name for a lovely horse. He swore that it was his horse that was stolen weeks ago. He asked if he could look into his mouth. After looking from tooth to tooth, it said it was his horse. If he didn't know his parents, he said the horse was a twin of his horse. He further said that his family is all for honesty, but the horse looks just like the one he lost. A man who is suspicious would easily believe his eyes and not his heart. He wished them and went away. That means John Byro had 100% a surety that this was his horse. But as Murad and Aram belonged to a tribe and family which was famous for honesty, he didn't said anything and just left. Now Murad wished him back. The next morning they took the horse back to John Byro's vineyard and put it in his barn. The dog followed them around without making any sound. Murad replied they would not bark at them since he had a way with dogs. Murad put his arms round the horse, then pressed his nose into the horse's nose. He patted him and then they went away. That same afternoon, John came to Aram's house in his surrey and showed his mother his horse that returned. He said he did not know what to think, as the horse is much stronger now with a better temper. He thanked God. Now, what Uncle Khusraw said, who was sitting in the parlor, he shouted irritatingly, Quiet, man, quiet. Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it. So, learners, that's all in this story. I hope you have understood it. I have given you summary of the lesson also. You can just go through it and do the textual questions and try to frame more and more questions. Thank you.